So
I think we just have to be, again, really smart with the onboarding. Yeah, hopefully it works out. We really need to think of like what will leverage our time the most. But
yeah,
anyways,
okay.
we'll figure it out. What's up, guys? Welcome to a new video. It's been a while since I shot my last YouTube video, and the reason for that is because we are scaling the business, and it's been by far the hardest thing that I've been going through. It's consuming a lot of my time, it's consuming a lot of my mental space, and for me to grab the camera and start recording content has been tough. I've been prioritizing other things, to be completely honest. But anyways, what I want to talk about today is how we're scaling the business, the challenges that we're going through, and sharing some of my knowledge when it comes to delegation and building a team. That's been, again, the biggest challenge that we've been through so far. And I think that if I can share my experience, it could help a lot of you guys. As some of you know, we run a marketing agency, but this applies to any service-based business. The truth is that whenever you go into business, you realize that, let's say you run a marketing agency, or let's say you run a soccer academy, or let's say you run a gym. Like, you're not in the gym business, you're not in the marketing business, you're not in the soccer business. When you want to scale, you realize that there are certain things that scale your business, and you need to focus on solving those problems. And there's a lot of problems that happen within a business, but there's a specific problem that if you solve it, you can grow a massive amount. And if you're in the gym business, it's not figuring out the best possible diet for your clients or the best possible fitness plan. Like, yeah, of course you have to get the results, but you have to focus on so many other things for the business to work that you start realizing that, yes, you got into the business because you enjoy going to the gym, but it has nothing to do with the gym. And the same applies to marketing agencies, right? Or the same applies to soccer businesses or soccer academies. I see so many soccer academies because I'm in the soccer space that the people that run the business love soccer and that's what they run the business, but they never scale the business because all they focus on is being the best possible coaches. And the truth is that when you're an entrepreneur, your roles shift and you have to focus on the things that will move the business forward. And you have to figure out what that is for your business. But anyways, for any service-based business, one of the biggest challenges / problems that you have to solve is attracting, sorting, training, and retaining the right people. And I can tell you that finding that right talent is extremely hard. So today I want to talk about what I learned about delegation and how A players, B players, and C players operate, so that you understand who to hire, how to hire them based on my experience and what I've been going through. So when it comes to business, you always want to hire A players because those are the people that you don't have to tell them what to do. They go and they figure it out. Not only that, but they also bring ideas to you. So like, you tell them to do something and they bring you like 4 different options. They tell you about other avenues that could scale the business. And those are the players that you want to keep really close in your team, and you want to keep them really engaged and motivated so that they see the vision and they see the value. But the problem with those people is that they're really hard to hire when you're starting a business. And the reason for that is because you probably don't have the cash to pay someone $200,000 to $300,000 a year, or it's not a smart decision even if you have the cash. The second part is that you don't really have a big vision, and you have to sell them on the vision. Sales is extremely important, not only when it comes to selling your product, but like, you also have to sell your employees on the vision so that they believe in it and they want to push towards it regardless of the financial side of things. Of course, the financials will always be important. They need to have a good salary. But on top of that, if you want to hire an A player, why should someone that works at Google or Facebook or like the best marketing agencies in the world come work for me? And the reason why good entrepreneurs achieve that and hire the best talent is because they can afford it financially, first of all, but second of all, they're really good at selling those people on the vision and telling them what the future looks like if they choose to work for us. So those are the two ways that I know you can hire A players. But again, it's really hard. So like, if you focus on only hiring A players, you will pretty much do all the work for a very good amount of time until you figure it out. And the truth is that sometimes you have to survive without those A players, and that's when B players come in. So B players are people that you tell them what to do and they get it done. They don't miss deadlines, they don't do the work the wrong way, they just get it done, but they don't go out of their way to do the work. Like, they work from 8 to 5 or 9 to 5, and when they have to clock out, they clock out, but they don't move the business forward unless you tell them what to do. I like B players, to be honest. I think like they're affordable and they're a middle ground. Like, they're always good as long as you have things in place and you have good systems in place in order for them to do the thing. But the thing with B players that I learned is that you have to over communicate things. When it comes to B players, the one thing they have to understand is that there are 3 reasons why they won't do the work that you tell them to do. One of them is because they didn't know they had to do it, which means that you didn't communicate it properly, which means that over communication is really important. The second one is that they didn't know that they had to do it by a certain date, which means that you didn't put a lot of emphasis on the deadline. The third one is that they didn't know how to do it, which means that they need training. Those are the most common ones, and I heard it from other successful entrepreneurs. And the truth is that all these excuses, you avoid them by just over communicating everything. You have to talk to B players like they're 2 years old. And that doesn't mean that you disrespect them, but you really tell them what you're expecting from them clearly, and you set reminders and you tell them exactly when they need to do it by, and you ask them questions whether they know how to do it or not, but you always push so that it gets done. I can tell you that this is very, very important. And I will say even with C players, like some C players could potentially work, and I'm going to talk about C players in a little bit, as long as you like over communicate everything. But it's very important that when you delegate things to people that are not A players, again, you are on top of things and you have the right systems to set reminders, to tell them the deadlines, just so that it doesn't become subjective and it gets done depending on whether they remember they had to do it or not. So that's B players. Now, in terms of C players, I don't recommend them having it all. The reason why is because I've hired C players in the past, and it brings more work to you. You're hiring someone to free up your space so that you can focus on other things. And these people are supposed to know what they have to do. And when you hire a C player, I can tell you that they will not know what to do. They will ask you a million questions. You have to redo the work for them because what they're doing is not good enough. And you would just consume so much of your time. And you can see it in my face, like I'm saying it with some sort of pain. It's just because I've been through it. I know what a C player looks like. I know how hard it is to be on top of someone that much, because you tell them something and you think that they understood it, but the next time you go and you fix the same exact mistake over and over again. So anyways, I just want to make those three comparisons between A players, C players, and B players, and to tell you who you should hire. I think that when you're starting out, it's really important to hire B players, but make sure that you have the right systems. And something that you want to develop within your business is training systems that turn B players into A players. And the way you do this is, of course, by sharing the right values, communicating properly what you want to accomplish, what you expect from them, and what you want them to become. Like, you have to persuade them. You don't have to manipulate them. Just so you guys know the reason, and I'm talking a lot here, but the difference between manipulation and persuasion is that manipulation, you're telling someone to do something for your benefit, and persuasion, you're telling someone to do something for their benefit. So if you truly know that it's the best for them to become A players, you have to create the systems and the things that will help them become that A player, as long as they want to achieve that. So it's your job as an entrepreneur to turn B players to A players. And if you can do that, that becomes your IP. Like, that becomes what makes your business valuable. Like McDonald's, right? Like, why is McDonald's so valuable? Because you can hire a high schooler. He can do the work perfectly. That's because of the systems that they have. But McDonald's can hire all C players and they will be fine. But with majority of businesses, you can't get away with it. You have to hire people that have the skill. So I would say, again, I think hiring B players is the way to go when you're starting out, because again, you can't afford A players. If for some reason you come across an A player and they're killing it, you can get really lucky. Just keep those people close and make sure that they're always motivated so that you can retain them and then they can do a great job for you. So yeah, that's pretty much what we've been going through, and that's some of the lessons that I learned about delegation. We're trying to build a team where we can create leaders. I don't want to be dependent on whether people make decisions or not. I don't want everything to depend on me. So yeah, that's pretty much the main lessons that I learned about delegation. Super, super important. And if you nail those down, your business will be a lot better. And the last thing that I'm going to say is, one thing that we're trying to achieve within the business is make everyone a leader. And what this means is that I've found myself in situations where we have the employees, but like, they don't take the decision because they don't own their work, which means that they do the work, but then they expect from me to approve it for that to move forward. And as you scale, you're getting tons of clients. You can't be dependent on every single approval process, right? So you want your people to be able to have that level of accountability and have that level of ownership, to know that if this doesn't get done right, it's my fault. It's not Franco's because he didn't approve it. And that's something I've definitely been through, and we're still kind of through. And we're trying to develop systems that would allow us to help people make their own decisions so that it doesn't become dependent on me, because everything that becomes dependent on me takes forever to get done. And that's just because my schedule, like, I'm just extremely busy with too many things. So yeah, there's so many more things that I could talk about, to be honest, guys. Like, I could talk about this for hours, and I would love to do that, but this video is already, I mean, in the camera it's 14 minutes. If we chop it up, it's gonna be probably like 10 to 12 minutes. But anyways, I'm arriving. The video is getting too long. So hope you guys liked the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope that most importantly, you were able to get some value from it. I promise I'll be more consistent with this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.